guess I'll show you Paradox too. We can visit Paradox a bit. She's so pretty. Paradox Amenight. I also like to call her Ammonite. There she is. Her water is a little bit dirty. I've been changing it out, but soon she'll have a larger tank. And yeah, it's hard to maintenance smaller tanks. This water looks pretty clear right now, but you can see, like, it's not good to have bubbles and still water on the top of the tank, because that just creates less, you can tell the water's not really going into the filter. It's doing an okay job, but not really a good job at all. So I do have another filter. I'm going to get that set up, but here's Shelby and how she's going, and everything looks good in here. And everybody is doing good. And the reason you didn't see Rudolph in there is because he's eating right now. I'm gonna let him eat. It's high time to take Rudolph out. And I gave him some red worms, some blood worms today. It looks like he ate a few of them. He actually ate a few. And oh, he ate a whole pellet. And then half of those other 2 pellets, so he was hungry today. He's my good eater. I mostly feed the red worms for Paradox so that she has something to eat, because she doesn't like to eat sometimes. She can be a little picky eater. So I got him and he's doing really good. You can actually see that he's been growing. You see the spaces between his scoots. You can barely really see it, but if you've had a turtle, you know what I'm talking about. It's that space right there in between the scoots and his skin, and it's like that really, it's like a layer that's on there. But it's basically how turtles grow, is their scoots will expand and they'll fall off, but then a whole new scoot will grow over the whole area. So it's basically just area that doesn't have any scoot on it, technically, but has grown, and you can kind of tell. But it's hard to tell, but once you ever grow a turtle out, then you'll definitely know. So here's Paradox. I put her in after Rudolph, and there's her foods. But I also like to call her Ammonite, A-M-E-N-I-G-H-T. And I don't know, I really like that name as well. It was one of the names I contemplating on naming her. So that's going to be, I guess, her middle name. But I just really love her. I wish she would eat more for me. But here she is, and I'm probably not helping her by staying here and watching. But you can actually see her, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14. She has 14 scoots. Her extra scoot is right there. But she's just so pretty, and we're gonna let her eat. But I really like the pattern on her shell. It's kind of like a calico pattern with these types of turtles. I'll pick her up for a second just to show you, but you can tell she's a little scared. The lighting's not too good in here also, but her shell doesn't really have any type of let me see. Come here, Paradox. We're going to take you into the light for a second. I'm going to show off her colors right here. I have a little lamp right here. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. But here's her colors. And yeah, as you can see, they're a little like calico colored instead of, usually you can see lines in a turtle shell. And lines, like you can see lines on her face. These are tortoiseshell calico cats. I'm going to just find one that's the best example for what I'm talking about. But I think so far it's this one right here. But as you can see, the patterning is a lot like Paradox's, because it's not, it's just like that. That's kind of the pattern on her shell. but instead of brown and orange and black, it's green and black and tan and brown. And then that looks a lot different from your usual turtle patterning on the shell, because see on these turtle shells, especially this one, there are a lot of lines showing and lines present within the shell. That one too, you can see a line. That one's a different type of shell than a red-eared slider shell, so is that one. And that one, that's a map turtle. But Paradox looks a lot more like this as opposed to this. But that can be explained because she really does have some interesting genes. She is directly from Clive, or not directly, but she was bred by Clive. In Clive, what they do there is they'll do pools of turtles. So in the pool that she was bred from, there were charcoals, albinos, and caramels. So there's always those options in that pool. And she was just marketed as a charcoal because that's what she is. And the breeder didn't tell me this at first when she was marketed. He just told me that afterwards. But that was something that was really cool. And because of that, she could possibly be het for caramel or also het for albino. She could be either or she could be both, which will be really amazing because that would mean since Rudolph is het 100% for caramel, that means that their babies could possibly, I could have blizzards, which is the marketing term for an albino charcoal, and those look just like snows. And they technically are snows because you do get snows from breeding a caramel with an albino. So I will be getting I will possibly, if she is a het for caramel or het for albino or both, get some of those with a hatch with her and Rudolph. Could also get just straight caramels, and I could also get just straight charcoals, which either of those are fine by me, and there's also some really cool color combinations. Yeah, I'll have, and I have an example picture later in the video. But then, from then on, even after breeding her from Rudolph, if the babies also, even if Paradox is not het for anything and she's just a charcoal turtle, even her babies will be 66% het for caramel and 66% het for albino, since Rudolph is a albino turtle that is 100% het for charcoal. And hopefully I got all those terms right. I'm a terrible speaker, but I'm talking and I think I got this. And it'll be even funner because I can play with the gene more, because in the future she can also be bred to duckling, and he is an ultra-line albino turtle, which means that he is the product of two hypo turtles, which are commonly referred to, the marketing term is hypotranslucent. But a hypotranslucent turtle is actually technically called a hibino turtle, and that is the product of mixing an albino turtle with a hypo turtle. And I have albino turtles. Rudolph is an albino turtle, and so is Nimbus. So I can add duckling to the mix, my ultraline albino. And once he's added to the mix, I can do some really cool things with the charcoal morph by just playing around and seeing what I can do. And I'll talk even more about my other breeding projects because I'm thinking about so much more right now. I would probably much rather see a turtle than me talking, so there he is. But I have him, and you can even see Simon down there messing around in his little fake leaves. But I can really play with the charcoal gene because I have plenty of turtles that she can be bred to. For example, duckling up there, and Rudolph, who is if she is het for caramel, then that'll be awesome because her and Rudolph will definitely have some charcoal babies, because Rudolph is 100%, or they'll definitely have some caramel babies because Rudolph is totally het for caramel. He's 100% het for caramel, so they'll have some really cool kiddos. And Also, if there are any charcoals that are hatched from that, then they can be marketed as het for caramel, because they will be, because they'll be 66% het, because their dad Rudolph is 100% het. So that'll be just really fun. I'll think of something to say here in a second. Oh, but I have seen, there's a lot of pictures of turtles that are charcoals that have been bred to caramels, and there have been some really pretty results from that. I can share some pictures here, right here as I'm talking, so I'll do that. But the point is that I'll have some really fun projects soon, and I have a lot planned with my turtles, and it's just going to be really awesome. She does have some little markings. She's not totally melanistic. And these turtles are melanistic, but they're a different type of melanism from the Chinese line. Supposedly breeders can always lie, but that's what is in the information about charcoals. And so I better get her back to her little food area. But I know she's going to eat for me since she's got some worms in there. She ate quite a big meal of worms yesterday. There she goes. But I love her so much. I love her so much. I love all my turtles so much. Look at that face. Oh, she came out to say hi. She came out to say hi to you guys. But I guess this is where the video ends. Ooh, pretty art. I drew that a while ago. So, yeah, but art. But, I love you guys so much. Thank you all who do watch. I would love to eventually be monetized here on YouTube. I'm planning on maybe doing a giveaway soon, which would be really cool. And I would like to be able to give away one of the very first turtles I produce, which will be a 100% het for albino mixed-eared slider. But we'll see how that goes. And I will eventually have babies in the summer when I put my turtles outside. I feel like they'll like it a lot outside better and maybe breed outside better. But Shelby and Nimbus are still getting acquainted so far, and I just want them to be comfortable with each other. And I can't have them in the same tank because Nimbus is too small, and I wouldn't want them in the same tank anyway because a male can harass a female, and it's just not good, no bueno. But me, so I'm excited. When they're housed outside, they'll definitely be able to cohabitate a lot better than indoors, because they'll have a whole area to get outside of the water if they would like, and all that stuff, so they'll be a lot happier.